Now, let's get to know more about Zero Hunger, how it is as significant as ecology, and the relationship between the two.
Thank you, Yob. Lastly, throughout Ombramondo, we have discussed Zero Hunger and ecology. But how are the two topics connected or related?
It's very easy, actually, because just to tell you a wonderful experience, because the people in Fiji were so happy to know that the Teens4Unity had a lot to do with pushing, really encouraging that there should be no hunger all around the world. So the Fijians thought that it really gave them support, because they were one of the countries in the United Nations that voted that agriculture and ecology and climate change were connected. Because if you feed people properly by not wasting resources like water or not producing too much meat, for example, then there is enough food for everyone all around the world. Because just think, really all around the world, 1/3 of the food that we produce, like all the meat that we produce, all the vegetables and fruit and cereal that we produce, 1/3 of it just gets wasted, because they try to just think about it as selling it for lots and lots of profit, but lots of people go hungry because they don't get the basic food. But it's so tied in with ecology, because if you grow your crops in a sustainable manner, not wasting too much fertilizer and water, for example, and making sure that we do something about climate change, then the world has the possibility of feeding the 20% of the world that goes hungry. And so they are so closely connected that we don't want to disconnect them. And so I remember when I told the people in Fiji that the Teens4Unity had sponsored this thing, the person who was actually the negotiator from Fiji for climate change was so grateful. He said, I didn't know that the Teens4Unity had done this, because he said for many years the delegation of Fiji felt that no one was listening to them about making sure that hunger and ecology are connected, that we really have to think about it. And so it also answers the other things, that we make public opinion. And so the Teens4Unity did something very important for the whole world, if you like. And just like, for me, I have a personal experience, because I've actually, just this year of COVID, I've actually been helping a farmers group in a mountainous area of the Philippines, where their mountain has been deforested. And one of them decided that they found that they actually had cinnamon trees from the Philippines that had nearly gone extinct. And so I helped them, gave them advice of how to regrow the cinnamon, and then how you can make products about cinnamon. And so over these 2 years, they actually have planted 11,000 cinnamon seedlings to make cinnamon trees. And now the farmers are making money from selling the leaves, so that because cinnamon smells so nice, they can make lots of wonderful products from it, and it's a sustainable crop. And to hear some of the women farmers especially saying that all of a sudden they have a source of income that they can put their children to school, so that it stops also the poverty cycle, was such a heartwarming experience. And I thought, wow, it's amazing that I'm here in Australia, because I've been able to have this relationship with them, by a Zoom, by emails and things like that, some of the thoughts I shared with them has first and foremost given them hope that it's possible that someone actually cares for them from another part of the world. So this is some ways we can think about doing things together. But I'm sure Teens4Unity in many parts of the world have lots of ideas that we can share also in fundraising or partnering, so that some of these projects actually can go ahead and work to the benefit of the people who need it most.
Thank you so much, Yob, for spending time with us today to answer some questions that we had surrounding the topics of ecology and zero hunger. It's great that you were able to provide us with the obviously beneficial insight to be able to make action, so we as individuals, as well as the wider community, can make a difference with all the arising ecological issues of our time. Thank you so
very
much.
It's been wonderful to be with you.
Yes, I can't wait to see the artistic side of our Korean friends, and I'm sure everyone is very excited to play the game with us.
Then what are you waiting for? It's time to start the game. You just have to guess the picture being drawn on the screen and then quickly type it into the chat box. Easy, right?
Can you guess what the drawing is? Okay, for the first one, I can see the drawing of the earth. Oh, it's sad. Is that a thermometer? What do you think? It's global warming.
Number 2. You can see trash cans, and signs? What do you think those symbolize? Oh, I think I know what it is. It's recycle.
Next. A mountain. A line. So many trees. And there's a sad yellow mountain. It seems like there are two or one is happy while the others had thoughts. I think those are tree stumps. This is forest protection.
Number 4. Oh, there are lots of cute animals. Is that a cat? Oh, there's also a bear. And an elephant. I think this is my favorite movie, Zootopia. Oh, I'm so close. It's animal protection.
For the last one, we can see cans, water bottles, and jars. My favorite iced latte from Starbucks. What do you think? If you answered zero waste, then you are right.
And that ends our game. Did you enjoy it?
Cara, how many correct answers did you guess?
I guessed 2. How many did you get? Type it into the chat box.
I enjoyed that little icebreaker game. Now let's continue to hear more about the project done for the Zero Hunger.
We are all aware that those living in poverty have been hit the hardest by the pandemic. our friends from Hong Kong will share their experiences, how they learn to empathize, send words of encouragement, and help those in need.
It all starts with understanding their sufferings, which urges to take action, such as what our friends from Hong Kong showed us. Next, we move to Portugal, which uses their platform to spread Zero Hunger project through their schools and in different forms of media.
Hi, I'm Rafael, and I'm 16 years old. I was really hoping that the Zero Hunger project could enter my school. To make this dream come true, I wanted to be part of the Zero Hunger network. I gathered some friends with the same dream, and we started thinking about how we could end food waste and how to get food to families and people in most need. We worked on concrete actions and created a document to present to the school. This document aims to raise awareness and motivate teachers and students. Some time ago, we received an invitation to present our project to about 250 teachers in Lisbon region. Although I was a bit nervous, I immediately said yes and helped set things up, prepare the talk. It took a few days of preparation to put this video together. In the end, I was impressed because more than 100 teachers were interested in the project and wanted to present it to their schools. This gave us great joy and strength.
In November, we were invited by a TV channel to broadcast our message. It was a great joy for us because it was a unique opportunity to invite many people to live this challenge with us. Let's see some moments of the interview.
The theme of our show today will be very interesting: Zero Hunger.
So, the Zero Hunger project already existed. Several countries and several organizations worked on it. One of them is the Food and Agricultural Organization of the United Nations, and they were already working on this project. But in 2017, they realized they had not reached out to young people, so they asked for our help because they knew we were young people and were willing to help others. We spread across 5 continents, and then in 2018, 600 girls from different parts of the world went to their headquarters in Rome. Then they created a manifesto of commitment to zero hunger.
That is fantastic. When did the Zero Hunger project begin in Portugal, Joana?
It started there in 2017. When the Food and Agricultural Organization suggested for Teens4Unity get involved with this project. Now we try to live it both personally and together. And we live it in the little things. Starting with what we eat, for example. Then, we also have different areas of action, like education, where we present our project to our colleagues, our families, our friends. We have social media, where we share the development of the project, and so we hope to reach more people.
Podem começar por repensar no desperdício que está a ser feito em casa.
You can start, for example, by thinking about household waste, which is often vegetables and leftovers that could be reused. If I have leftover lunch, I can use it for dinner. I can also buy less, only what I need, so I don't waste as much.
So, I would say, try to live as Jesus lived in the gospel, always following him as an example, because basically that's what we need to do in our lives. We need a focus point for being good.
I would also say, don't give up, because sometimes it can be difficult. In daily life, we face very complicated situations and always try to see Jesus in our neighbor.
I think we should live the Zero Hunger project, knowing that at the end of our lives, Jesus will say to us, I was thirsty and you gave me a drink. I was hungry and you gave me a meal. And then have this feeling of knowing that we helped and did our part.
For me, it was an incredible experience being here on the TV with other Gen 3, in front of the cameras, talking about this great project, where the main protagonists are us, young people.
Yes, for me too, it was amazing. All over the world, boys and girls like us already live like this. The opportunity to go on television opens other doors for the project to move forward.
And of course, we also have other means of telling people in Portugal. On social networks like Facebook and Instagram, where we are very active.
This is a way for us to spread more activities we do during the year and share more and more about the Zero Hunger project.
It all starts with freeing our perspective and mindset with the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Having the right headspace strengthens our conviction with good intentions rooting from our hearts.
However, it doesn't stop there. Just thinking and feeling is never enough for making the right thing happen.
Just like our friends in Holy Land that started a project where leftover bread were being distributed to neighborhoods. It began with the idea of giving, passion to serve, and the concrete act of doing. Let's watch this.
Hello, my name is Lutof. I'm 13 years old. I live in Haifa. We heard about the Zero Hunger project and wanted to develop it. My mom asked at the bakery what they do with the bread leftover at the end of the day. And they told us that the leftover bread is all thrown away. We didn't know how much bread it was, maybe 100 loaves or maybe 1,000. We gave them our phone numbers to stay in touch so that we could collect this leftover bread and then distribute it to the people who need it. Not just one bakery contacted us, but 4 bakeries started calling. In addition, the people to whom we gave the bread also gave it to other neighbors or people who needed it. So this idea spread, and the people in the bakeries were also happy because they had the opportunity to donate their leftovers without it being thrown away. They often called us late, but we always went. Each time I can decide whether to go or not. But I definitely go because it makes the families in need happy. And it also makes me happy that I have done something to help others. When we deliver bread to people, we don't leave immediately, never. We build a relationship with them. Also, out of respect, we ask how they are. When we give bread, they must feel that we're giving it with our hearts. It's not just giving and going away. Even when we prepare a meal for ourselves, we don't put in a large amount that would be left over afterwards and thrown away. But we only help ourselves to as much as we can eat, thinking that there are several families who don't have enough to eat. We don't only think of ourselves, but also of the people who need us most. We also have asked our friends to help with the distribution so that when the bakery calls, they can also get involved. If you know people who have food and throw it away, tell them not to throw it away, because you can instead give it to the people or families who need it. Always think of others in this way and help them, and you will know how happy it makes you. Thank you.
وهيك كمان انتوا بتساعدوا الناس هدول وبتحسوا بتعرفوا قديش هذا الاشي بيعملكوا السعادة.
Once I spoke with an astronaut, just came back from the moon with the stars in his eyes. He said up there I learned a lot. Something changes inside when you see the earth rise. Got no boundaries and no walls. That living, breathing ball. Love is underneath it all. Beneath the blue and green, connecting everything. I met a girl, she was very young, yet she spoke burning words with the fire in her eyes. She said, hey, something's really wrong. Deserts grow, people die while the oceans rise. She said, can't you see the urgency? You pretend that you care, then you look away. You are trampling on our hopes and dreams. We can't wait for a change, got to start today. You can feel it in the breeze, you touch it in the trees. You hear the waterfall, love is underneath it all. It's running in the fields and swimming in the deep. The
not only lessening the food waste but also the hunger of many people. This initiative became an opportunity to involve all. Do you know the country of our youngest Nobel Peace Prize laureate, Malala Yousafzai? Type in the chat box on which country we are going next. That is right. Now we are traveling to South Asia, where you will hear the word biryani, cricket and chai. Yes, Pakistan.
Hello! We are Gen Verde of Citadel Nutrition in Pakistan. There is also a school in our Citadela. It is called Mission School Dalwar. All of us study in this school. Also, our Gen assistant and other members of Citadela work in this school. Together we try to live the art of loving among ourselves and with others. Last year, Pakistani Gen 3 got an invitation from the Gen 3 of Portugal to study and work for Zero Hunger. These gens started informing us about this issue. This brought great revolution in our lives and in our school. So many Gen 3 started to have more care for the food they eat. Many have started sharing this idea with more people.
In our school, there had been a series of activities regarding Zero Hunger. As soon as this activity was launched by our teacher, all the students of our class took up the responsibility to work for this problem. Knowing that this problem is very big and more people are needed to work for this problem, we launched this activity to the whole school. All the students had been very generous according to their capacity. The money which we have gathered through this activity, we want to share it with the children who deserve it the most. Every year on Christmas, we decorate a big Christmas tree on the reception of our school. All the children of the school bring presents like toys, dresses, stationery, sweets and chocolates and place them under this Christmas tree for the needy children. And this year we have given joy to almost more than 500 poor children. We have experienced that real joy is in giving. We have also published these activities on YouTube because we want to spread this culture of giving everywhere around us. We want to make this world a better place for all those who live in it. After having done these life-changing experiences, we feel that this lifestyle has become the part of our life and we will always continue living like this. A very special thanks to the Fouto Gen 3 Center, United Nations and all the teams who were promoting this lifestyle.
My heart truly melts at the sight of children making efforts to save the environment and end hunger. I think by now everyone is inspired and challenged to join the project, and I can assure you that it is truly a wonderful experience.
The Zero Hunger Project aims to end the hunger of the world from all over the world. Many children suffer from malnutrition, poverty, and lack of access to drinking water, and food insecurity such as in countries Ivory Coast. Now, let us see how they face these challenges through their experiences.
Hello everyone, I am Arnold.
And I am Roxane. Together we would like to introduce you to a work of the little town called Victoria here in the Ivory Coast.
For more than 2 decades, An action against child malnutrition has been created, which has been set up in a supplementary nutrition center. But let's take a look. Hi Janine, you work here? Can you tell us about the center? What do you do here?
We carry out various activities to save the lives of many children who are malnourished or with nutritional problems. We focus on the training of mothers. We help them understand the importance of following the prescriptions of the nurse and midwife to help their child recover or prevent malnutrition. It's oriented to exclusive breastfeeding from 0 to 6 months, vaccination and screening. In short, we try to take care of the child through the mother, giving advice and guidance, and then we organise training sessions here at the centre or in the villages.
Now let's get to know Mama Chantal, Leontine, Mart, and other ladies who are involved in the artisan production of types of flour, which can be transformed into baby food, and are often the cure for malnourished babies after 6 months. Hello, what are you doing here?
There's a mill here, and we produce flour from corn, sesame, millet, soya, but also cocoa and plantain bananas, in short, local products. Then, this flour is made available to mothers so as to feed their children. We also teach them how to make the most of local food resources. What encourages us the most is the awareness in families that mobilization of the community is needed to carry out actions that guarantee the stability of health.
The action of the Nutritional Center goes precisely in the direction of Zero Hunger, carried out all over the world, also by the Gen 3. Sometimes we also come to help. As for example, during the Christmas holidays, when we organize parties for children and parents. We would like to know from you, who work directly with the nutritional issues, is there a link between malnutrition and the ecological problem here in our country as well?
I think so. We know that climate change is causing longer and longer dry seasons, and the rainy season doesn't guarantee the growth of crops, such as grains and corn. For example, every year we make a stock here of all the grains that we're going to need during the year to make flour for the children. Last year we bought everything we needed between August and October. This year it was much more difficult because of the low rainfall. We were only able to finish our stockpile in December, and prices had more than doubled due to the low quantity of corn and sesame and so on. So you can imagine how many families this year will have difficulty getting the food they need, and it's because of climate change.
Our report ends here. Thank you all. Bye from the Ivory Coast.
The work they do has helped many children to live and grow up healthy. We have traveled from Hong Kong to Ivory Coast to hear their experiences on how they are able to work for Zero Hunger.
I am truly amazed and inspired by the experiences shared by teens who have taken an extra effort to work for the cause.
Let us all strive to achieve our goal to end the world hunger by 2030.
Traveling to Egypt, we find a group of musically gifted teens who will sing a song of peace for all of us.
On écrit sur les murs le nom de ceux qu'on aime, des messages pour le jour à venir. On écrit sur le mur à l'encre de nos veines, on dessine tout ce que l'on voudrait dire. Partout autour de nous,
signes d'espoir dans les regards, dans les répliques, car dans la nuit tout s'efface, même leurs traces. On écrit sur les murs la langue de ce que l'air, des messages pour le jour à venir. On écrit sur les murs à l'encre de nos vers, on dessine tout ce que l'on voudrait dire. On écrit sur les murs la force de nos rêves, nos espoirs en forme de graffiti. On écrit sur les murs pour que l'amour se lève, on nous joue sur les mondes endormis. Des mots seulement gravés pour ne pas oublier, pour tout changer. Mélange à deux mains dans un refrain nos visages, métissage. On écrit sur les murs la langue de ce que l'air, des messages pour le jour à venir. On écrit sur les murs à l'encre de nos vers, on dessine tout ce que l'on voudrait dire. On écrit sur les murs la force de nos rêves, nos espoirs en forme de graffiti. On écrit sur les murs pour que l'amour se lève, on nous joue sur les mondes endormis. On écrit sur les murs le nom de ce qu'on aime, des messages pour le jour à venir. On écrit sur le mur à l'encre de nos vœux, on dessine tout ce que l'on voudrait dire. On écrit sur les murs la langue de ce que l'air, des messages pour le jour à venir. On écrit sur les murs à l'encre de nos vers, on dessine tout ce que l'on voudrait dire. On écrit sur les murs la force de nos rêves, nos espoirs en forme de graffiti. On écrit sur les murs pour que l'amour se lève, on vous joue sur les mondes endormis. On vous joue sur les mondes endormis.
After hearing the experiences of the different youth from all over the world, I am now inspired to work for ecology and zero hunger.
I am as well, and I've heard we have friends from India who have created an app to help us initiate the first step.
Let us watch this video to know more about Cool the Globe app.
Hi everyone, my name is Prachi Shevgaonkar and I'm a media professional. When I was in college, I first learned about the climate crisis and the role I was playing in it. It troubled me. I wanted to do something about it, at least at my own level, but I had no idea what I could do. So I went to my father and I asked him, what can I do about climate change? We came up with a simple solution. To start with, I would reduce my own greenhouse gas emissions by 10%. But how? Which activities of mine were leading to most emissions? If I switched off a light bulb, would that help? Or will it help more if I travel by public transport? How do I keep track of all of this? How do I ensure that I'm reaching my target savings? From this was born an idea for an app that would help individuals reduce their own greenhouse gas emissions to a target. This app would be free and open source for all, so that the common man could take individual action on climate change. For the next 3 years, my father and we worked like madmen on this project. Finally, this app was ready. We named it Cool the Globe. So suppose I travel 10 kilometers by cycle instead of a car. I can know that I saved 2.3 kg of CO2 equivalent of greenhouse gas emissions. I switched off my television for 2 hours today. Here it goes. I saved 0.12 kg of CO2 equivalent. I love chicken, but in the interest of climate, I did not eat chicken for an entire month. So that should be around 1 kg of poultry. And wow, I saved 4 kg CO2 equivalent greenhouse gas emissions. Now all this gets recorded in my monthly savings, and I can see how much of my target I've achieved. Individual actions may seem less, but they add up to a lot when there are many individuals with the same mission. So we also kept space for a global meter, which would show the savings made by all app users combined. And that would be the power of collective action. We launched this app on Play Store right around the time that I graduated college. 3 years of insane amount of work, sleepless nights, coding, research, and finally, our dream had come alive. But the dream is not yet complete. This little project now goes in the hands of change makers like you, because the real work has only just begun. The real task is in convincing people that in the face of climate change, they can make a difference by making small changes in their own behavior. What I want to ask all of you today is, how can we take it forward from here? How can we bring climate action and behavioral change to the common man? You can find this app on Play Store by the name of Cool the Globe. Do hit us with your suggestions, feedback, and any other way in which you could contribute to the cause. Support from citizens around the world has reignited this dream within me. And today, I ask all of you, my co-yatris, together, how can we realize it?
How you downloaded the app yet? It's simplest but very helpful.
This app is able to help us track all our carbon emissions, to see our contributions to help save Mother Earth, and at the same time, work for zero hunger.
This signified the importance of our little actions to build up to greater responsibilities for change.
With Unity, we continue to persevere in achieving our goals to protect our environment and end hunger. Take a look at our collective contributions that even the smallest acts would undoubtedly change our world for the better.
The Christmas Bag Project. The USA teens created self-decorated bags of necessities for the homeless. Andrin Ruf of Switzerland. I learned that bees help maintain an equilibrium in our ecosystem in a way that humans survive. Albert Einstein said that if bees become extinct, humans will have only 4 years to live. Now I take care of 4 colonies of bees in our area. From the Teens4Unity of Serbia. This year, we went deeper into the topic of integral ecology, discovering how to improve our relationships in nature and its entirety. Through various workshops, we learned how integral ecology means giving our attention to our schoolmates, to the whole environment that surrounds us, as well as working with the lonely and troubled people. We go to spend some afternoons with the elderly and children staying in Caritas homes. It's so beautiful to see them so happy when we were together. We also learned how to prepare bricks with recycled paper, which can be used to light up heating stoves. From Rhealy Egoc of Philippines. Through the Zero Hunger project, I learned not to waste food, to recycle. All these actions are concrete ways of loving our neighbor. With the Teens4Unity, we started a project called Ukay Ukay for a Cause. We collected plastic bottles and put together things that could still be used and sold them. We used the money raised plus our personal savings to buy food for the poor children. We also cooked food and we were able to feed 50 people. From Mariano McClean of Oceania, I discovered the importance of finding a connection with the nature. It is important to find time to be in nature. To reconnect with ourselves and with each other. From Lula of Argentina. I live with my commitment for the environment through the aquatic sports that I practiced with our team. We always see a lot of garbage on the islands. We carry bags to collect whatever is within our reach, and we also organize waste collection drives. From Teens4Unity of Rawalpindi, Pakistan. We receive a roadmap with boxes to take for each act of energy saving, putting the equivalent of 10 euro cents for each act, like switching off unnecessary lights, fans, appliances, closing the water tap, etc. With the money collected, we choose to help a very poor family with 4 small children who don't even have a stove to keep themselves warm.
I am overjoyed right now just seeing people all over the world like me take a step in fulfilling their responsibilities as stewards of creation.
Yes, I hope everyone is inspired as well, because now I am excited, ecstatic even, to invite you all to the initiative.
Let us do it together to take upon this goal to be a part of those who will work for ecology and zero hunger.
As most people are exposed to a lack of good living standards in our community, poverty exists, flood is an accepted reality, a lack of sanitation, poor environmental practices, health and safety risks are all around. Clearly, we need to act now.
Worry not, because you can start with one of the many solutions we have right now, which is Cool the Globe app. Save on your greenhouse gas emissions to a concrete monthly target, even just 10% off your carbon footprint.
By recording your savings in 4 areas: travel, home office, materials, and social responsibility. You could also use individual contribution as well as the total savings of all app users all over the world on a global meter.
Focusing on what you can do as individuals to fight climate change in your day-to-day lives is a step in switching to a low-emission lifestyle.
This is so amazing. Everyone, open your App Store or Play Store and search Cool the Globe, reduce the carbon footprint. Press download, and together, let us join the global movement to rise for climate change. Together, let's cool the globe. And let's set a little challenge to see how much progress we can track into the app before Run for Unity in May, and share your progress with all your friends at home and around the world.
This has been meaningful and enlightening. Make sure to follow our social media at Teens4Unity on Instagram for more.
This is World Tree Responsibility. Not the end, but the start of our journey towards a new lifestyle that dares to care. Because a united world is not united without you. May we always be aware and desiring of a better future for our environment, for our future generations, and for ourselves.
Dhanyawad. Thank you everyone. See you all tomorrow.
Maraming salamat at paalam sa inyong lahat.
Khuda Hafiz, phir milenge.
Haidara.
Goodbye. But before we end, we have the teens from Germany who will be presenting a song to all of us.
When all is lost and closed, when life is rough, you feel there's no joy, no peace, no love. There's only one thing we can do. It's open up our hearts to you. Open your mind and look for each of these bright sides. Open your heart. Together we're no longer in the dark.
Open your hands, reach into your drawer, and listen, you will reach for me. Open your mind, reach for the door, and maybe you will finally see. Open arms for everyone, hands into hands of medicine. It's time to step out into the sun.
Open your mind and look for each of these bright sides. Open your heart. Together we're no longer in the dark.
Open your ears so wide so you can take in every single sound. All of the joy, all of the pain, all of this life that we have found. Come all along, let's do our part. The future's ours within our hearts. Now is the time to start.
Open your mind and look for
out and open your mind. Go out and open your heart. Go out and open your hands. Go out and open your doors. Go out and open your eyes. Go out and open your mind. Go out and open your heart. Go out and open your hands. Go out and open your doors. Open your mind and look for each of these bright sides. Open your heart. Together we're no longer in the dark. Open your mind and look for each of these bright sides. Open your heart. Together we're no longer in the dark. Open your mind.
We want to tell people about this new idea, this beautiful thing.
Teens is special because it has an international editorial office. Articles are produced all over the world.
Ramankutti, a volunteer of Shanti Ashram. There are many victims around the world of poverty, and the children are the most vulnerable.
2 years ago, I was invited with my classmates to a workshop called Make It Happen.
Some friends and I decided to contact other young people with whom we share the commitment to live fraternity and who live in other countries like Brazil, Ukraine or Lebanon.
I personally am blessed and fortunate enough to be able to live comfortably in my own home.
This image of taking care is very beautiful because politics has this goal. It cannot have others. This is the goal of politics. We need well-prepared politicians.
Today, we have a special guest joining us from the United Nations Green Climate Fund. So let's take a moment to welcome him. We are so honored to have Mr. Eduardo Freitas, the Regional Manager for the Green Climate Fund from the UN, join our program today. If you have any message to share with us, we will...
Listen, I'd like to start by saying how much of a pleasure it was to listen to this.
We try to share our experiences of the quarantine and bring a fraternal message of peace to our city and the world.